The second weekend of the college football season brought me to Chicago. The Northwestern Wildcats are in season number 2 of playing their home football games at Martin Stadium, a temporary stadium where the team usually practices, set on the edge of Lake Michigan. Here's a look at the setup without the current temporary seating. For almost 100 seasons, Northwestern played at nearby Ryan Field before demolishing it in early 2024. Before the game, I stopped by to get a look at the new Ryan Field scheduled to open for the 2026 football season. The Wildcats will play 4 more games at Martin Stadium before moving 10 miles south to host Minnesota and Michigan at Wrigley Field in November. Northwestern hosted the Western Illinois Leathernecks in Friday's home opener. I entered on the south side of the stadium and within a few steps had already reached the field. For the size constraints given to Northwestern, I was impressed with the temporary setup they were able to put together. Once the sun went down midway through the first half, it made for perfect viewing. I'm sure it'll be a crazy scene this Saturday when the Wildcats welcome 4th-ranked Oregon in. Have to keep the crowd engaged with some contests during the TV timeouts. Northwestern controlled the game how you'd expect against an FCS opponent, cruising to a 42-7 win for their first victory of the season. The Northwestern band got their first chance to entertain the fans this season during their halftime performance. The full moon over Lake Michigan made for a great view behind the east bleachers. A 2-level bar is set up for fans in the middle of the concessions and merchandise area. I spent the second half of the game checking out all the angles of the stadium, starting with the club section by the south end zone. Behind the west bleachers is Lakeside Field, home of the 2-time national champion Northwestern field hockey team. My last stop of the night was to the top of the north bleachers, trying to stay warm as the wind whipped in off the lake. Time to head out, and couldn't finish a trip to Chicago without a visit to Portillo's.